Court remands Zamfara APC Publicity Secretary for defamation. The Sokoto Zonal Office of the EFCC has denied reports that it is investigating former Governor Yari. Governor Masari pays 629 million naira for Katsina student WAEC and NECO. On business, federal government, state and local government shares 812.67 billion naira. On the international scene, presidency replies UK, US and others on human rights violation. Welcome to Standard Voice Television News. I am Musa Joy Onyoza, and reading with me today is
Samira Ibrahim. Thank you for joining us.
Now the news in full. The Upper Sharia Court sitting in Samoro area of Gusau, Zamfara State Capital, has refused to grant bail to the State Publicity Secretary of the All Progressives Congress APC, Alhaji Ibrahim Damaliki Gidangoga, currently in prison custody for allegedly defaming Governor Bello Matawale of Zamfara State. In continuation of the hearing of the case on Thursday, the presiding judge Alhaji Abdulhadi Gusau said Gidangoga should remain in prison custody pending the outcome of the bail application filed by his counsel before the High Court. According to the judge, since Gidangoga's lawyer had written to the High Court seeking for his bail, it will not be appropriate for him to continue with the case until after the decision of the High Court. It could be recalled that Gidangoga was arraigned before the court 2 weeks ago for allegedly defaming Matawale as well as inciting public disturbance. According to Matawale's counsel, Ibrahim Haruna, Gidangoga had held a press conference where he castigated the state governor and wanted to cause public disturbance, actions said to be contrary to the Section 287 and 142 of the Sharia Penal Code. Alhaji Ibrahim Haruna said the court that the text of the said press conference was published by both conventional and social media outfits.
The Sokoto Zonal Office of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission (EFCC) has made a story on Watched Media last week that it was investigating former governor of Zamfara State, Alhaji Abdulaziz Yari Abubakar, on an alleged non-execution of a contract to the tune of 900 billion naira. The story, which was published by this Sunday newspaper last week and credited to the agency, was on Thursday refuted by the zonal coordinator of the anti-corrupt agency, Alhaji Abdullahi Lawal, while answering questions from newsmen on the matter. Alhaji Abdullahi Lawal, who spoke to press in his office in Sokoto, denied the story, saying he has never mentioned the name of any governor or state. Mr. Abdullahi said he have never mentioned anybody's name or state, but only said the commission is investigating a petition against one of the former governors for embezzlement of funds during his tenure to the tune of 900 billion naira. It could also be recalled that the EFCC zonal office in Sokoto has on Monday undertaken a rally to mark the World Anti-Corruption Day at Hajia Halima Central Motor Park in Sokoto, where the head of Sokoto zonal office made some remarks.
The Katsina state government has spent about 647 million naira on the payment of final year examination fees for its secondary school students. A Daily Trust report says the State Commissioner of Education, Badamasi Lawal, gave a breakdown of the expenditure as 208 million naira was paid for WAEC and NECO, while 397 million naira was paid for NAPTEB and NBAIS 14 million naira. Speaking with newsmen, Alhaji Lawal said the full result of WAEC analysis have been computed, which show that 1,589 candidates sat for the exams in 2019, out of which 7,276 scored 5 credits and above, including mathematics and English language. According to him, 14,481 candidates also scored 5 credits and above in other subjects, representing 66%, adding that from 2015 to 2018, no fewer than 245,126 candidates have sat for the 4 exams, out of which 158,908 candidates obtained 5 credits and above in other subjects. He said as soon as other results are fully received, their analysis would be made public, adding that the performance of students from the state is commendable and attributed it to government investment in education.
A former gubernatorial aspirant in Zamfara State on the platform of the All Progressives Congress (APC), Alhaji Aminu Sani Jaji, has said that the party is now one united family and there is no faction. The former member of the House of Representatives admitted that as part of their resolve to put behind them the crisis that led to the APC losing the state in the 2019 general elections, they have agreed to sheath their sword and find a common ground to reposition the party for greater success. Alhaji Sani Jaji made this clarification while reacting to a story credited to the APC publicity secretary in the state, Shehu Isa, insinuating that Jaji met with former Governor Abdulaziz Yari in Abuja as a representative of the G8 group. It will be recalled that the APC State Publicity Secretary, Shehu Isa, had in an interview disclosed that Yari and some members of the G8 group in the state met on Wednesday in Abuja to reconcile party members in the state. Shehu Isa was quoted as saying the G8 group members include Senator Kabiru Marafa, Dauda Lawandare, Ibrahim Wakala, Mahmoud Shinkafi, and Aminu Sani Jaji. Alhaji Isa said one of the G8 group members, Alhaji Aminu Sani Jaji, met with Yari at his residence in Abuja on Tuesday in that regard. But reacting to the story, Honorable Aminu Jaji, who spoke with newsmen in Abuja, explained that he attended the meeting in his personal capacity and not as a member of any bloc, adding that the G8 group no longer exists. He said it is true that he met with the former Governor Abdulaziz Yari in his residence in Abuja, personally not as a member of G8. He said the genesis of the meeting was that some people and religious leaders from the state approached him on the needs and benefits of reconciliation, in line with the teachings of our noble Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam.
In an attempt to curb street begging, the Borno state government has offered 30,000 naira to 3,127 beggars over the last 2 months. The state governor, Professor Babagana Zulum, who chased beggars off the street, has provided an alternative to ensure their survival with the 30,000 naira salary plan. This was made known to newsmen by Nuhu Clark, the State Commissioner for Poverty Alleviation. He explained that Governor Zulum has already invested 384 million naira in a social protection scheme aimed at reducing the poverty level in the state. Borno State has about 7,000 street beggars, 1,550 were crippled, 357 were lepers, and 189 were deaf.
The Borno State Governor, Zulum, has assented a bill to regulate NGOs' activities in the state. Governor Zulum said that the bill will empower the agency in the coordination of humanitarian agencies and development partners in the state. The governor has passed the State Agency for Coordination of Development and Humanitarian Response Bill into law to regulate the activities of non-governmental organizations as well as development partners in the state. Earlier in his remark, Speaker of Borno State House of Assembly, Abdul Karim Lawan, said that the bill will go a long way in assisting displaced persons through the coordination of humanitarian and developmental activities in the state.
Similarly, Governor Abdullahi Umar Ganduje of Kano State says his government has mapped out plans to integrate Almajiri children, who constitute the majority of the out-of-school population, into the free compulsory education policy of the state. Governor Ganduje stated this in Kaduna while declaring open a 3-day retreat for Executive Council members, permanent secretaries, and top government functionaries of Kano State. According to the governor, 2 services are very key to his administration: 1, education, and 2, the provision of health services to the people. These 2 are the major indicators between developed and developing countries aside the economy. He said these 2 sectors are being taken very seriously. On the education sector, the government had already made a pronouncement that education from now would be free and compulsory from basic to secondary school level. He called on all stakeholders to work very hard and make a very solid foundation to ensure that we achieve this laudable objective. He noted that Kano State, being the most populous state in the Federation, it is vulnerable, as it is always said. He said a high population could be an asset or liability, pointing out that his administration wants to make the population as asset. The governor noted that certain countries in the world that do not have a drop of oil, yet they are among the strongest economies in the world. So by developing this aspect of education, the government is taking Kano State to the next level through the advantage of its population. He explained that the issue of out-of-school children is a very serious one in Kano State and in Nigeria, but his administration is doing everything possible to address the problem. He said there is no doubt that Kano, being the commercial nerve center of the northern part of Nigeria, most of the Almajiris are not from Kano, but since they are Nigerians, we must see that they go to school. We'll be right back after the short commercial break. Stay tuned.
Fellow Nigerians, do you know that constituency projects are actually your projects? Do you know that constituency projects are funded by the federal government? Do you know that you can track release of constituency project funds for projects located in your constituency and follow up to know how they have been executed? Constituency projects happen because government does not want to leave any community out in development efforts. You have a responsibility to know what constituency project has been planned for your community, how much has been allocated for it, and whether value for money has been delivered. Take ownership of constituency projects located in your community. Protect them because they belong to you. Government knows about your needs and is planning for you. Government needs your help to ensure quality delivery. Know that constituency projects are actually your projects. Protect your constituency project. My constituency, my project.
For information on funds allocated to projects in your constituency, call 0800 2255 4272.
This message is from the Independent Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offences Commission and the National Orientation Agency.
Welcome back. On business, Aminu Mariam has small detail.
Thank you, Joy. Once again, I am Mariam Aminu. Welcome to Business News. The federal government, state and local governments have shared 812.76 billion naira as revenue for the month of November. The Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Finance, Mr. Mahmoud Issa Duse, stated this on Wednesday in Abuja while briefing newsmen on the outcome of the Federal Accounts Allocation Committee meeting. Giving a breakdown of the revenue accrued in November, Issa Duse said that the mineral revenue reduced by 100.8 billion naira from 522.6 billion naira recorded in October to 421.8 billion naira in November. Also, the non-mineral revenue increased by 68.2 billion naira from 159.4 billion naira in October to 227.7 billion naira in November. He also said that the value-added tax collected for the month reduced from 100.9 billion in October to 88.3 billion naira in November. The gross statutory revenue of the 649.6 billion naira received for the month was lower than the 682.1 billion naira received in the previous month by 32.5 billion naira. The revenue from the company's income tax increased significantly. He, however, said that revenue from foreign oil and gas, domestic oil and gas, royalties, petroleum profit tax, import and excise duties, and value-added tax decreased. Alhaji Isa Dutse said in summary that the federal government received 280.9 billion naira, states 142.48 billion naira, and 109.84 billion naira was received by local governments. According to him, 47.8 billion naira, representing 18% of the mineral revenue, was shared to oil-producing states. Alhaji Isa Dutse announced that $2.246 billion was withdrawn and shared to states as part of the Paris Club refund. He said the excess crude account had gone down from $2.318 billion in October to $631 million in the month of November. The deduction was from the final payment of the Paris Club refund. The final payments to states have been made and the figure was deducted from excess crude accounts. The news agency of Nigeria and Punch reports a decision was taken to make these refunds, and part of that decision is for the refund to be funded from the excess crude accounts. Alhaji Isa Dutse said all the required approvals were obtained from the President and Federal Executive Council. And that's all we have on business news today. Thank you for watching.
Thank you, Mariam. On sports, Sufyan Abubakar has more detail.
Thank you, Joy Musa. My name is Svtv Abubakar, and as usual, I'm with the sports update. Super Eagles midfielder Joy Aribo says his decision to represent Nigeria on the international scene was inspired by the legendary duo of Azuka Augustine J.J. Okocha and Peter Osaze Okodwingi, according to reports compiled by Standard Voice Television. Aribo made his debut for the Super Eagles in a friendly match against Ukraine in September, scoring one of the goals for the three-time African champions in the 2-2 draw. The Glasgow Rangers midfielder followed up with another classy strike in the 1-1 draw against five-time world champions Brazil in October. Aribo stated he enjoyed watching the Super Eagles while growing up in Europe. He said Okocha and Osaze inspired him to play for the Super Eagles. He also admitted that it is a big challenge wearing the number 10 jersey vacated by former Super Eagles captain John Obi Mikel. Aribo, whose goals and overall sterling performance against Ukraine and Brazil in high-profile friendlies this year has surely endeared himself to Super Eagles fans. While Aribo referenced Okocha, Odowingi and Mikel as players he watched growing up, it was another ex-Nigerian megastar, Victor Ikpeba, who had this to say after Aribo's heroics against Brazil. He's a such wonderful player, and I am delighted to see him play quality football for Nigeria, this according to Ikpeba. Former Barcelona midfielder Pedro Rodriguez has admitted that there is a possibility he will return to former club with the Spaniard's contract set to expire next summer at Chelsea. Pedro has progressed through youth ranks in the Barcelona La Masia Academy before enjoying a trophy-laden spell under Pep Guardiola. His 5-year spell in England appears to be coming to a close, and the winger hopes that a reunion with his former Camp Nou teammates could be on the cards. And according to several reports, the hierarchy at Barcelona still hold Pedro in high regard and may be open to offering him a role in Ernesto Valverde's squad. Speaking on former teammate Lionel Messi, Pedro, who scored 99 goals in his 321 appearances with Barcelona, tipped the Argentine to top the rankings for the greatest player ever. He says, in his own opinion, he thinks Messi is already the greatest footballer to ever grace the fields. During his time at Barcelona, Pedro won 5 La Liga titles, 3 Copa del Rey, 4 Spanish Super Cups, 3 UEFA Champions League, 3 UEFA Super Cups, and 2 FIFA Club World Cups. And that's all we have on sports. Back to Joy Musa in the studio.
Thank you, Sufyan. And on the international scene, The special advisor on media and publicity to President Muhammadu Buhari says Nigeria not answerable to either US or UK or the EU. The special advisor Femi Adesina said the Nigerian government had made it known to the United Kingdom, the United States and the European Union to stop interfering in its affairs, as Nigeria is a sovereign country. He stated this while responding to a question on the allegations of human rights abuses by the federal government with a focus on those in detention, including the convener of Ash Revolution Now movement, Mr. Omoyele Sowore. Mr. Adesina said the countries and organizations should rather address the issues in their respective domains. The special advisor told the Channels Television that Nigeria is not answerable to either the US or the UK or the EU. He added that those countries and entities have issues of their own and called on them to deal with their issues and leave Nigeria alone. In his reaction to agitations concerning the rearrest of Omoyele Sowore, Adesina insisted that the criticism was from those he described as a minority compared to the large population in the country. That has been the news from Standard Voice Television. To end the news, a quick look at the major headlines. Court remands Zamfara APC Publicity Secretary for defamation. The Sokoto State Zona of the EFCC has denied report that it is investigating former Governor Yari. Governor Masari pays 629 million naira for Katsina student WAEC and NECO. On business, federal government, state and local government shares 812.76 billion naira. On the international scene, presidency replies UK, US and others on human rights violation. All these and other stories of the SVTV can be viewed via our social media platform. That's the news on behalf of
Samira Ibrahim. Keep watching Standard Voice Television News.
I still remain Musa Joy Onyoda. Stay tuned.